All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking in WION at this hour, where Australia and Facebook are now in talks to find a way for the social media giant over the news content law. And after a week of sharp exchanges, Australia has now said that Facebook has tentatively befriended Australia again. Now remember, Australia and Facebook had held high-stakes talks on Friday after the social media giant had sparked outrage by blacking out all news feed from the Facebook page of all Facebook users in Australia, as Canberra insisted that it wouldn't back down on a new law that forced the tech firm to pay for journalistic content. The Treasurer Josh Frydenberg said that he spoke to Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg to find a way out of the showdown and that negotiations will continue over the weekend. The Prime Minister Scott Morrison has also urged Facebook to move past the threatening behaviour and to come back to the table for further negotiations. He said that Australia's move was garnering interest from leaders around the world. He also said that he discussed the situation with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Canada's Justin Trudeau over this matter.
What I'm pleased about is that Facebook's back on the table. They're back at the table. That's what we want to see. We want to work through this issue. And so I welcome the fact that they're back engaging with the government, as they should. And those actions were completely indefensible. I appreciate the apology that is being provided. But my job now is to ensure that we get on with those discussions and that we bring them to a successful conclusion. The Australian government's position is very clear.
Now, on Thursday, several Australians were left fuming at the ban after it affected many Australian emergency services on Facebook. The social media giant stripped pages of domestic and foreign news outlets and several emergency department accounts for Australians and also blocked users of its platform from sharing any news-related content, saying that it had been left with no choice ahead of the news content laws. Now, Facebook's blackout of news content in Australia comes in the wake of the country's push for the media bargaining code. This code will force the social media platform Facebook to pay news publishers for their content. Now, the Australian law will require Facebook and Google to reach commercial deals with news outlets whose links drive traffic to their platforms or be subjected to forced arbitration to agree upon a price. The law has been designed by the government to address a power imbalance between the social media giants and publishers. Since January 2019, poor advertising revenues have forced over 200 news organisations in Australia to close temporarily or to permanently shut down, and the pandemic has only compounded the industry's problems. Unlike Facebook, however, Google has already sealed deals with several Australian and international publishing outlets in recent days. Facebook has so far maintained that the media code fundamentally misunderstands the relationship between itself and the publishers. It said that its platform generates billions of free referrals to Australian publishers that are worth a significant sum of money to media companies. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.